You are now listening to The Forefront Radio, where we discuss history, the Bible, the history of the Israelites, science, and other matters. Bring it out. The history of the blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans as it relates to the Bible. Who were you prior to slavery? Who were you prior to colonization? These answers and more can be seen and heard as you listen to The Forefront Radio.
Thank you for tuning into the Forefront Radio. I'm your host, Afio Levi Israel. Now, if you're interested in helping us promote our brand, please feel free to donate to our Cash App. Our Cash App is $Afiel Levi. That's APHIELLEVI. And that'll go directly to the Forefront Radio so we can produce more incredible shows for you to listen to. Now, if you haven't heard about Anchor, it's the easiest way to make a podcast. Let me explain. It's free. There are creation tools that allow you to record and edit your podcast right from your phone or computer. Anchor will distribute your podcast for you, so it can be heard on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and many more. You can make money from your podcast with no minimum listenership. It's everything you need to make a podcast in one place. Download this free Anchor app or go to anchor.fm to get started. Thank you.
You are now listening to The Forefront Radio, where we discuss history, the Bible, the history of the Israelites, science, and other matters. Bring it out. The history of the blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans as it relates to the Bible. Who were you prior to slavery? Who were you prior to colonization? These answers and more can be seen and heard as you listen to The Forefront Radio. You are listening to The Forefront Radio. I am your host, Afiel Levi, wanting to jump on and have a discussion real quick about the implications of Kevin Samuels passing away. So recently, news stories came up about Kevin Samuels passing away. And it's unfortunate news because a lot of people saw this controversial YouTuber as a important figure in addressing certain issues that affect the Black community. Now, consider the fact that this man built up his YouTube page from 60 or so thousand subscribers to over 1.4 million. Okay, so to say that this person was inconsequential is not really an accurate assessment. Okay, while many people are rejoicing over the fact that he passed away, in fact, many Black women are outraged over the fact that he talked so much about dating and relationships, and then he in turn became ridiculed. And this man was so popular, he even has an article currently on NBC News. So Kevin Samuels, a YouTuber who became known for his controversial relationship advice, has died. His mother confirmed to NBC News. Rumors of his death circulated on social media on Thursday night. His mother, I won't say her name, declined to release details about what happened. She said she learned of her son's death from social media. So think about that. So that was a terrible thing for social media to put out like that. She didn't even know. She did not even know. She received the phone call on Friday, the day after the fact. And now she's requesting people to pray for her. Her son died. There should not be a reason why people are rejoicing at a person's death, especially over the fact that he was trying to help, not harm, the Black community. Now, a lot of times people say things that are controversial, that get clickbait. You know, people do these type of things, especially on social media. But what is it going to take to address the social ills in society? Now, Samuels, who described himself as an image consultant, shared many of his YouTube videos to his more than 1.4 million subscribers, describing topics that included dating and relationships. His views, which many people on social media felt were an attack on Black women, often sparked outrage. Last month, he was slammed over a video where he labeled women who were over 35 and unmarried as quote unquote leftovers. Now, think about this for one moment. Think about this for one moment. The statement of saying that the woman is left over, you have to critically analyze this. Left over from what? Many other Americans and groups of peoples across the earth get married at an early age, sometimes between 18 to 25. So, what is it in our communities that is happening that are causing our women to get married at a later date? I'll use myself as an example. There was a young lady that I dated that was a really beautiful, nice woman. I met her when she was 20 and I was 21. At that time, we both were in college. We both were struggling. We both were, working our part-time jobs, trying to establish ourselves. And we entered into a relationship. Now, at the time, I didn't understand that the Bible talked about marriage, and we were quote unquote boyfriend and girlfriend. We were dating, right? And I, in turn, saw her as marriage material, right? So now, unfortunately, what ended up occurring is that after 5 years of dealing with each other, she decided to vacate. She decided to leave. She decided, nah, I'm not with it anymore. And when I asked the question, what is it that we did in our relationship? What was it that didn't work out for you after 5 years of dating? She said, I just want to go another direction. And I was like, oh, okay, all right. Now, I was devastated because this was a woman I loved for, I cared for. I had aspirations of wanting to make her a wife. And in turn, she didn't see that nor respect that. Now, years later, I followed up with what was going on with her, and I found out she got married in her late 30s, like 35, 36 range. So, me using my critical thinking skills, I'm like, hold up, wait. So she didn't find a mate between 24 to 35, that's like over 10 years here. What was the problem? The problem was that she, quote unquote, would not settle. She, quote unquote, went from man to man to man to man till she finally found a simpleton that said, I'm going to disregard all the previous relationships that you destroyed. I'm going to disregard all the previous men that you dealt with, and I'm going to make you my wife. I feel sorry for him. I feel sorry for him because if she was not able to last in a long relationship for 5 years, just as a quote unquote girlfriend, what makes you think that she could sustain herself as a wife? This is what is discussed on these particular topics that Kevin Samuels talks about. I'll give another example. There was a woman that called on his show, and she stated that she was looking for a man. And Kevin asked her the question, why are you not married? She said, I was previously married. I had a husband, right? And then he asked the question, what was the reason for your divorce? Now, this woman did backflips and somersaults and, handstands and did everything she could to avoid answering the question. And he asked a direct question. What was the reason for your divorce? Not one time, not two times, not three times, but 8 times. And she finally confessed that she was the one that initiated the divorce. He asked her, who filed for divorce? Who filed for divorce? Who filed for divorce? But then these same individuals say, I want a good man. I want a husband. I want a quality man that'll take care of me and be there for me. And when they have it, they are unsatisfied complainers, murmurers, backbiters that abandon their own relationships. So who should fight for those that are good women, that want quality relationships, that know that marriage is honorable according to the scriptures, and won't just leave their marriages in the blink of an eye, just by how they feel, disrupting children's and ripping them away from their fathers, not because he cheated, not because he was verbally or physically abusive, not because he mistreated her in any way, but I feel alone. You went to work and you didn't console me every single day. You didn't tell me good morning and give me flowers and kiss my ass. This is what he addressed in the communities. He stirred up a lot of controversy over his videos, which on occasion he did rate women's appearances based on his observation and based on their looks or their dress size. Many said that his advice was quote unquote toxic or misogynistic. But following up on the news information about his death, you find so many people that are contentious, that are emboldened to speak villainy and vitriol over this man's death. Kevin Samuels had made a career off of shamelessly disgracing individuals that disgraced themselves. He emboldened the most toxic individuals to project tired, harmful narratives about Black women, according to journalist Ernest Owens wrote. But consider this. Consider this. This individual sparked an interesting conversation that many celebrities, that many actors and actresses, and many people that are prominent on media rarely touch. Why is it that the Black community has low rates of marriages? Why is it that so many of our men and women are unmarried? Although when you look up the statistical data, there are good quality husbands, there are good quality women, there are good quality situations that are happening within our community. What gets broadcasted is, I don't need a man. Get a divorce. If he doesn't do anything that you like, divorce him and leave him. Disrupt your family. See, many people don't understand that a wise woman is going to build up her house, but a wicked person is going to tear it down with their own hands. Why are marriages ending up in divorce? Why is this happening? According to fatherly.com, it states this. First comes love, then comes marriage, then comes the crushing realization that sheesh, happily ever after takes a lot of work. A few years into marriage, many couples find themselves in a relationship that's faltering. Nearly 20% of married couples file divorce within the first 5 years. But this is not saying that the mutual affection doesn't exist. But why is it that people are finding themselves in a failed marriage? The causes of divorce are varied and complex, but the top reasons for divorce tend to fall under common themes: debt, which is money, believing that marriage is a cure all for people that have mental hangups, a lack of communication, trouble with in laws, and religious differences, not staying connected, differing on life plans, dispute over family relationships, and these factors play a role in why these relationships fail. Now, I will leave you with a text of scripture to consider. In Hebrews chapter 13, verse 4, it says, "Marriage is honorable, and the bed is undefiled. But whoremongers and adulterers God will judge." We have to remove the westernized mindset that we have when it comes to relationships and look to the east. Look how our ancestors got married and stayed married, how they stayed together and focused on building up their families. Because without a family, you will not have a nation, and a nation divided against itself cannot stand. Thank you for listening to the Forefront Radio. Follow us on Instagram and Facebook and other social media platforms.
Hey, my friend, you have just listened to the Forefront Radio. Please leave your comment and input about the show, what you like about the show, as well as any general feedback on ways to improve. We need your help to acquire new equipment to implement studio quality video and audio to our friends. Contribute as little as $4.99. It's only worth a cup of coffee. Then we can produce documentaries, more episodes, and great info for the diaspora. Go to Cash App and enter APHIELLEVI to donate to the Forefront Radio to cover our advertising costs and reach more people. Catch our next episode on YouTube, Facebook, Spotify, Anchor.fm/The Forefront. Always remember, the truth shall liberate the mind. Peace to the heirs of promise and the heritage of the scattered 12 tribes. Hey, my friend, you have just listened to the Forefront Radio. Please leave your comment and input about the show, what you like about the show, as well as any general feedback on ways to improve. We need your help to acquire new equipment to implement studio quality video and audio to our friends. Contribute as little as $4.99. It's only worth a cup of coffee. Then we can produce documentaries, more episodes, and great info for the diaspora. Go to Cash App and enter APHIELLEVI to donate to the Forefront Radio to cover our advertising costs and reach more people. Catch our next episode on YouTube, Facebook, Spotify, Anchor.fm/The Forefront. Always remember, the truth shall liberate the mind. Peace to the heirs of promise and the heritage of the scattered 12 tribes.